Hey, what's up, y'all? I just want to jump right into this. And from the very beginning, you hear my voice already. That's a demonic presence that we have accompanying us, as well as all the unwanted gangster stalkers out there that'll be viewing this video as well. Having said all of that, I've been promising you guys a duplicates video. I'm going to probably be putting it up weekly. There's way too many lookalikes to do one video. We'd be here all day, all week, really. I deal with this at least 3 times a week. They send me lookalikes. I call it duplicates because they call it duplicates. They send me the DUP, PDU. You gotta unscramble it. It means duplicate. That license plate means duplicate. I didn't know what that meant at first, but now I do when you see all of the lookalikes. They like to send me lookalikes to confirm that they know who I've been thinking about as of late, or who I've talked to on the phone as of late, whose picture I might have seen as of late. They do this all the time. So I'm gonna get right into it because y'all know I get long-winded. This first individual was a Puerto Rican kid that I had seen in my, matter of fact, I put a video up. It'll probably air a day before I upload this, or hours before I upload this, so you won't be lost. One of the daily gangster stalking videos, June 3rd. This Latino kid was following me around. He's in that video. You'll see where I caught him in a couple of pictures throughout that day. He for the whole week, I was wondering why he would keep popping up in front of me. He would stick his head in. If I was in the boxing room, he would come shoot the ball around, try to get in games with us in the on the basketball court. He was sitting on machines right in front of me. And this went on for a couple of days before I finally, and they'll do it until I get the hint or get the deal what's going on. So I finally caught an angle where I said, "Wow, he looks like Joey." And Joey was one of my clients when I was doing one-on-one counseling in schools and in the home as well, and in the community. And this was about 20 years ago, at least. So he'd be in his 30s now. And I was curious, one day, wow, because I always, with all the clients I've had over the years, I'm sometimes curious, and I'll go on social media just to see how they turned out. This would be like over 20 years ago. I mean, over 20 years now. I'd like to see what kind of individual they turned out to be. Like I said, it's been over 20 years, so I don't know if it was him or I don't know. But I did look, and to no avail. But they like to let me know that they know what I've been into or thinking about as of late. And so they sent this kid, and here's his photo. Here's the kid actually. Here's Joey back then. This next one, I always tell y'all that they send me. Well, when I go to the library, there's movies that they want me to see and get the message from. And this is one of the movies. And so I got the movie, and I looked at it, and then I started peering at her photo on the cover, and it finally hit me, and it reminded me of someone I had been looking at on Facebook around that time, and I remember she was a high school crush of mine. We were pretty good friends, high school friends. Yeah, she was a high school crush of mine back then. Still cute as a button. But here's the DVD cover. I'm gonna let you look at that. Give you a few seconds to see if you can guess who it is. And here she is. Tasha. My high school crush. Still just as cute as ever. This next one is, they sent this one to my social media. This was around the time when I was looking, again on social media, looking for my my foster sons. I was a foster parent for a number of years. And had a few foster sons. My first one, I had the longest, and so we probably obviously were the closest. And I tried to locate him, and to no avail. Again, they know everything that I'm doing, so one day they had him call me up, him and his brother. I had both of them at one time. And of course, they're older now. Again, we're talking about, boy, I guess close to, wow, 20 years easily. So they're grown men now. They're grown boys, adults now. And again, I was curious. But they, like I said, they had them call me. Again, I'm doing this on the fly. I just want to get this out of the way. I should have done this months ago. I've been trying to get it, squeeze it in, so I'm doing this on the fly. It's not scripted or anything. they had him call me just to mock and let me know. It was very unclear if he had his social media or phone numbers or anything like that. They moved him out of they moved everybody away from me and out of the surrounding areas. So he's somewhere in Virginia somewhere, he says, and they're really not allowed to call me back. Or that one day was just to let me know. We know what you're doing, and we had them call you. It was good to hear from them and reminisce a little bit, but as far as the information and getting back in contact, that was nilch. So to let me know, as they do, they sent the lookalike, a very profound lookalike. And at that age, they're always at that age. I don't know what they look like now. And so here's the lookalike. And here's Maurice. This next one, they sent this one to my social media. And she was funny as a whip. I became one of her biggest fans immediately. And she was almost 100 too. She was almost 100. And my aunt, who I was lucky enough to visit that whole summer before her demise. Well, not demise, that's not the word. Before she died. I would go see her at the, I guess it's about a nursing home or whatever. It was a couple blocks away from the gym that they got me, that they shut down on me. And now I can't get there in Philly. It was a couple blocks from there, so I would go see her every Saturday. And of course, they don't want me seeing people. So that's prior to my, that summer, well, that September, they inflicted me with the voodoo stroke. And so I was in the hospital for about a week. When I came out of the hospital, there was cameras installed all throughout this apartment building. This isn't that type of, it wasn't here when I got here. This came here with the gangster stalking and the gangster stalkers and the satanic witches and everybody else. That's when the cameras got here. I'm digressing, but I feel like it's essential. During that time, she also passed. And when I got out of the hospital, you hear my voice. I had a time running around trying to find out where she was, because the nursing home or whatever it was wouldn't tell me. So eventually I found one of those family members over there to tell me that she passed. Again, passed. Anyway, here's the social media young lady. And here's my late aunt. Duplicates. This is how they do things. They take credit for everything. even deaths, especially deaths. We keep moving. It's supposed to be lighthearted, but they're going to get lighthearted in the future. This one is just this is Truth TV first and foremost. Truth TV. Okay, this next one. Uh, Again, they sent him to my gym, and I seen him a few times. Didn't pay it any mind. We just keep it moving. Just there's another gangster stalker that just sent in, black boy, and you know how I am, and I'm just moving and not even paying him attention. Well, one time I couldn't. They set him in the boxing room, and I stuck my head when I got there to the gym. I stuck my head in the boxing room, just scan and feel it out. And he turns my way, and I was like, whoa. And I had to look harder. I was like, is that Marvin, my brother? And my goodness. So every time I saw him, you know how you get that feeling if you have a relationship, some kind of relationship with somebody. And my brother, they talked to him. They had him have 2 heart surgeries. That's why, I still want to get, I'm putting it into work to do something with the medical field for y'all. It'll blow your mind. But they talked to him. His family talked him into having these heart surgeries. And they look for cracks in your armor. If you have anything that you got going on, they'll use that to use you as a guinea pig. Oh, he used to get high or this or that, and they'll use that. With my Uncle Albert, they used, he used to drink. They'll use that. They wait for you to give them some kind of crack in your armor, and they'll use that against you. Long story short, though, hopefully it's short. He had once got cleaned up, though, and he was in a facility in Philly. It's awful quiet in here. I could tell when I have an audience. It gets awful quiet in this apartment building. Whenever I open my mouth, anywhere I'm at, supermarket, Walmart, wherever, if I start talking in my phone, everything shuts down. I'm sorry for digressing, but that's what happens. When it's 24/7 craziness. Y'all don't even hear the bottles or nothing popping in my apartment like it does all day, and the walls knocking. It just shuts down when I open my mouth. Let me see where I was at. Anyway, he was in a facility in Philly, just blocks away from the home that they drove me out of. And when I say drove me out of, I hate digressing as much as I do, but it's essential. They drove me out of that house. They had raccoons and all kind of stuff. They let the house across from me be abandoned, and I'm gonna put a picture up. Probably not in this video, but the house across from me, just like everything is visual. Just like everything I see outside my windows here. The trucks, the cars, the white cars, the FedEx, all of that stuff, police car, all that's fire engines, ambulance, all of that stuff that they put outside my window here. I didn't understand back then. Of course, I didn't know it was gangster stuff. But the house across from me was totally abandoned. they let these apart, and there's a very nice block. They let these houses go to crap. And the minute I signed to leave that house, they started to fixing them both up. This is how this works. So they got me out of that house, so I wasn't that close to seeing him, but I still was in Philly. So I would go and visit him, and they can't have the affiliation. He took him all the way out to Willingboro, New Jersey. And he was looking good in Philly. Healthy, he's got somebody watching over him. He can't do his thing, do that, do whatever. They took him out there. And you can see his health wasn't, the next time I saw him, his health wasn't what it was when it was in that facility. So they can do that voodoo thing continually and make you deteriorate. And I'm getting so far from this thing, but it's I feel like it's essential that I say these things. I had to leave his house. They were poisoning me. They were poisoning the food. They were hitting me with voodoo like crazy. You think my apartment is bad? With all these gangster stalkers and witches? His whole apartment complex is full with African and Jamaican, Haitian, whatever. All voodoo witchcraft. They used to just bang over top of the ceiling when I was there at night. Just bang, 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 and I would get hit with the voodoo throughout the day. I would have to leave most of the day, come back late at night. Couldn't eat the food. He wouldn't eat his own food. He wouldn't eat food. He wouldn't eat food that I brought him from out. I would go to very nice places, buy him $20 platters, but he wouldn't eat it because he knew that what they were doing to my food. So all of this I picked up while I was there. That's when I left and moved into my car. This is all still after a voodoo-induced stroke. Hospitals would put me out because of orders from those who gave me this voodoo-induced stroke. Can't stay here. Just put me on blood thinner. Yeah, but you can't stay. But you said I could because I couldn't go out because I was on blood thinner. Yeah, but you can't stay. We're discharging you. I'm telling you, this is just a little bit of the medical field. I'm digressing, and I don't mean to do that, but a lot of this stuff I feel like goes with what's going on. Anyway, they got me out of his life. Because I ain't supposed to be in any, I ain't supposed to be having no contact with anybody. So they got me out of his life. I had runarounds trying to go, they would tell me he don't live there no more, even though I still had to keep for a little while. I would go by, I could tell he was still there. They just had to move him. They know my every move. Every time I get there, he wouldn't be there. Plus, it's a little distance. So I just left the key and moved on. And Mary is the one who would try to call me and tell me they moved all the stuff out. I know he's still there. If he's still alive, he's still there. They had me running around going to hospitals, with their gangster stalkers acting like he was there, but COVID, we can't. Today we doing something, and it was a whole lot of bunch of run around. They would do all the gestures and the clothing, so I knew it was a gangster stalking thing. I'm totally off the point though, but anyway, this is the guy that would often engage me. I ain't gonna say bump into me. We all know ain't nothing coincidental. It's all intentional. This is the guy that I would see at Walmart and in the Walmart parking lot and at the gym. They're feet away, by the way. and then at the gym, and then the gym's parking lot. And here's Marvin. Now, I wish I'd have got pictures while I was there with Marvin. A month and a half I was there before I couldn't take it, or deal with it, or decided not to deal with it. So his beard, his mustache is still dark. This is at the home that they had him in Philly. I took this picture, but if you could just picture I wish I'd have took the picture while I was there with him. But if you could picture him just all gray, and pictures, you can, pictures, they're helping, but it doesn't do you justice if you can't see their mannerisms. Same height, 6'3", 6'4", the mannerism, the talk, the speech, it'll blow you away, man. It'll blow you away. I'd sit there and just listen to the guy and just let him talk. And he see my head shake, because it's crazy, the likeness. They nailed a lot of these. One of them they didn't get though. One of them I didn't get. They sent me a usher. And I'm still kicking myself for not taking this picture. I usually just take their picture. And but when I finally, first I was upset because, first thing I was thinking was gangster stalker, here they is pulling right behind me as soon as I pull in. And I wasn't on the usher thing. But when I was leaving, they got him to engage me again. So as I'm looking at him in his car window, I should have just took the picture like I normally do. I wanted to ask him, hey man, who they say you look like? And he laughed and said, Usher. And I'm telling you, to the T. And again, I think it was something on social media I saw where Usher was involved with something, and the day before. So that's how they do it. The day before, and I'm looking at it and reading up on Usher. And so, because I got to ask myself, why they saying Usher? Have I thought about him lately? Yeah, yesterday. But yeah, I was kicking myself, man, all that day. I should have got the picture. He was like, they was twins. Identical twins. He was a little bit taller, but they were identical twins, man. So I was angry I didn't get that one. But I will. You know why? Because I'm telling y'all about it now. I'm talking about it. So I will show you what I'm talking about. This one right here, this is crazy. And this wasn't even the picture I was going to use of this individual. High school, teammate, homeboy. This cat, I had a picture. I should have put that one up too. I had a picture of him for his duplicate. And I'll tell you how they work. I'll tell you how they work. And with this satanic mind reading and all this whole stuff. Anyway, so he puts a post up a couple days later, and I'm reading his post on his social media, and he under his caption, his picture, it says, "Not to be duplicated." And that's how they do. He said, it's not the caption, not to be duplicated. So I said, we'll see about that. But this one blows away the picture that I had. I mean, you could see it in the other picture as well. Matter of fact, I had two other pictures. Two different people. But this one I think is the closest. They sent me this one just a couple days ago. This one is the closest. And I'll let you look at it. See if you can guess. Overbrook, Hilltop. got. And here he is. That's Big Rod. Rodney Overby. We're gonna have some fun with celebrities too. This young lady, what's her name? I'm gonna speed this up. She's, I think her name is Karen. I think it's Abercrombie. I'm not sure. Karen, but here she is. I think that might be a younger picture of her. And here's her lookalike. Celebrity look. She's a celebrity too. She's an actress. But here's her lookalike. Jada Pinkett. And here's another celebrity. Well, another actor, rather. He's an actor. See if you guys can figure out who he looks like. The microphone might give it away. The occupation might give it away. Couple more seconds. And here's his lookalike, Yuki Washington. And who's this guy look like? You guessed it again, Yuki Washington. And who's this guy look like? What celebrity does he look like? Couple more seconds. You got it. Bokeem. I think Bokeem Woodbine. Bokeem Woodbine. That's the actor, Bokeem. That's his lookalike. And here's this guy on social media the other day. I saw. Who does he look like? Couple seconds. You got it? Here it comes. Jason Kidd. And who's this guy look like? Oh, y'all old school. This old school. Who this guy look like? Back in the day. Not even back in the day. I think he's younger, but he looks like how he looks now. Couple more seconds. See what y'all get from this. This is what I got. George Gervin. The Iceman. And here's another one. This is, what's her name? Cindy. This is the model. I think her name is Cindy. That's her. And here's her lookalike. That's Cindy. And here's her lookalike, Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner. And last but not least, and this is last because I didn't even put the videos up, man. Goodness gracious. Whew. Wow. This is gonna take a minute. This guy, first of all, this is Willie Gault. This is Willie Gault. And he was a NFL. He was an NFL wide receiver and track star. And he was an NFL wide receiver and track star. And he also, after his NFL career, started acting. And so he was on the Heat of the Night series one day. They show old series like that, you know, shows on my TV. And so I said, wow, he looked like somebody. And again, not the first time. I got to keep looking and watching it. And I said, wow, wait a minute, he looked like somebody. And I can't picture it. I can't picture it. And it wasn't coming to me. And then I think later on that night, it came to me. I was watching, every night I watched, at the time, I would watch just the opening segment of Steve Colbert's late night show. And he had John, what the heck is his name? He had John, the music guy. Can't think of his name right now. He had John, the music guy, the leader of the band. They would every night they would embrace and hug and grab and hug and all that stuff. And one night I got tired of it. I mean, I was already tired of it. You know, all that hugging. First thing I'm thinking, you trying to show validation, or is that validation that you're hugging a white man? That's the trip I was on that night. I said, I don't want to see you hugging that white man looking for validation again. True story. And I got plenty of them just like this. And from that night on, and he's been on that show. I'll put the number up because I forgot to look it up. Because he's been over there. He's been on that show probably, I think, at least 10 years. Hugging every night. They would grab and hug. The next night after I said that, no more hugging, embracing, head on the shoulder, all that. None of that. It was done. Finish, kaput. Also, he got, he won Grammys or whatever. I believe it's Grammys for We Are. We Are. That's a part of my speech for preach around that time that I was working on and rehearsing for when I finally did the scene. We are. And if you're familiar with Preacher's exoneration speech, when he talks about one of his proteges that left prison and continued what he was teaching him and became a full-fledged lawyer, and the protege calls him back while he's in prison. It says, I tried to reach you to let you know that as of 12:01 last night, this morning, we are a lawyer. That's where that we are came from. I can't make this stuff up. And now y'all see why it takes me so long. I would never be able to do a one video with all the duplicates. I have a story with all of them. There's a story behind them. This is already taking a half hour longer than what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to breeze right through this. There's sidebars and everything that I don't even expect. So I could never do, I mean, I could, but of course I want to tell you the story behind it. But yeah, one day for 8 years, whatever, how long he was on there, hugging and hug every the next day, after I said that it stops today, it stopped from then on. And then he left the show about 5-6 months afterwards. He was just uncomfortable with my dynamics. They did the same thing with, and y'all making me sidebar again. They did the same thing with Lisa Abreu for Eyewitness News. Every afternoon, I would say this is the pinnacle of my day, just to see Larissa. And when they heard me say that, as soon as I said it, I knew I was like, oh no, I shouldn't have said that. They was on her, they was already making their moves to get her out of town. As soon as I said that, I knew it. I said, oh, you shouldn't have said that. There's power in the tongue, man. Power in the tongue. My tongue, for sure. It can go both ways. But John, he couldn't deal with that. They can't deal with the pressure of that. I would tune in every night just to make sure he wasn't, okay, you stop that hugging, now make sure. And it would either be a fist bump, or I think the clip that I found, because they don't even have it on YouTube no more. They used to have the shows on the beginning, the opening, and they took that out. I had to go way into my archive, look for, find one of the clips where they don't hug. They probably got the ones where they was still hugging. But when it changed, it was either the fist bump or the one that I'm talking, the one that I found, they hit the elbows. But all that hugging, and they did that for about 8 years, 9 years. But when I said enough, no more. No more. You don't need validation because you're hugging a white man. I don't want to see that hugging no more. I'm talking to the TV. I don't want to see that hugging anymore. The next day. And then he left. There's something about pressure when they know I'm looking at them. There's something about pressure. There were days and there was weeks when I had to take off. I said, I'm not going to watch. I'm going to take off from Eyewitness News. I could see it getting to Larissa. They had her doing all kind of crazy stuff because they knew I was watching. Because they knew they needed me to know that I was watching. They had her doing all kind of crazy stuff. One day she dropped something from underneath her skirt. That's the period gesture. The voodoo anal crap that they doing to me. It's in the shower in there, and that was one of the biggest magic things I ever saw. It's just blood dropped from between my legs or in the tub. And I'm feeling all around me, white rag and everything, trying to see where this blood came from. No, there's no blood on you. It's magic. And it's a gesture. Their homophobic LGBTQ fag punk gesture. People are sick, man. This is taking way longer than I wanted to. But you see how I deviate. I could never do a whole. Anyway, yeah, so John left his to Tonight Show. Larissa, she left Eyewitness News. And there's probably more stuff I could think of, and I'm positive there's more, but I'm gonna stop right here, man, because this is already way too long. Entertaining for many of you, but way too long. I'm gonna try to lighten it up in the future, because this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be about guessing. A lot of you, I didn't get to. I still got pictures of a lot of you that are out there. They do everybody and everything. Nobody's off limits. Anyway, I think I'm gonna be out, man. This is way too long, but it's the first one, and I'm learning how to. I'll probably be more organized next time. And I try to get away from these sidebars and all. But they jump in there because, as I always tell you, I have a whole lot to say. I can't even say bye right now. I have a whole lot to say. And they know it. That's why they have to watch me. I'm out. Let me just mention this real quick. Now that I remembered it, going through the pictures, the photos. I told y'all about the ice cream truck before. I tell y'all about all of the trucks and businesses that they use. They use everybody. But one in particular is the ice cream truck. I think one of my videos not too long ago, probably the other day I did, was showing how, or either going through my pictures, showing you how they strategically placed the ice cream truck around. But I also have a video from the news where they let the ice cream song play in the background as a gesture to folks like myself, victims. When a child has been shot. Y'all don't pay no mind to this. It just sounds like there's an ice cream truck in the background. And you're not really paying any mind to it because you're listening to the story. It's not very loud, but it's loud enough for victims like myself who are familiar with the ice cream gesture, ice cream truck gesture. So you won't pay any mind to it. You don't even know what I'm talking about. And you've listened to it a dozen times, hundreds of times. Well, I have two pictures here. And these pictures signify the fact that we've gotten these two people to leave their respective positions. in these both these places, the news and the late night show. This is how this works. I can't make this stuff up. This is how this works. And they make sure I find these pictures. It's their stamp on it that we did this. It's called the ice cream truck gesture. I'm out.
And first and foremost, keep Yahweh first in his life. Yahweh knows the desires of your heart. Well, around 6 months ago, the guards woke me up early one Saturday morning. At first, I was very annoyed. I mean, quite annoyed. But then I thought, you know what? This might be that call I've been waiting for all these years. Could it be the governor? Could it be the warden? Calling me to tell me that there's been a huge mistake, Mr. Wallace. You're being released. But it wasn't. It was Malik. Was I disappointed? I'd be lying if I said I wasn't. But then I quickly realized that I hadn't heard from him in quite some time. So I said, Malik, is everything all right? I mean, you calling me on a Saturday morning so early. Is everything cool? He said, yeah, preacher, everything is just fine. I'm just calling to let you know that as of 12:01 a.m. this morning, we are a lawyer. Don't tell me that God makes a mistake. I was here for a reason. Amen.